part 2 of chapter 2, installing the HV system. After designing, the next step is drafting. After drafting, estimation, then installation. But I'll take care for design and installation. So in this notes, you'll find design and installation. The drafting faculty will give you the steps involved in drafting, and the estimation faculty will provide you the steps involved in estimation. So directly after designing, in the notes for designing and installation, you'll find installing the HV system. Okay. So installing means what? Site execution, the work on site. For example, those who joined today, for them, here you see, these are some images related to the installation. For example, before installation, fabrication of duct. And this is the installation of duct pipe and other services, just to get the idea. So this is on site, and this picture is taken before what? Before false ceiling. And false ceiling, as you know, this is a false ceiling. This is grid false ceiling. Rakesh, I think you know what is false ceiling. Hello? Yeah. So this is grid false ceiling, also known as tile false ceiling. So grid because of supports, and in between this box is called tile. It can be thermocol, it can be metal grid, it can be Armstrong, different metals are available. And in that other office, you'll find gypsum false ceiling. And in gypsum, you'll find step also if required in some cases. And in step, you'll find the grill. So we'll discuss about this false ceiling. So this picture is taken before false ceiling. So before false ceiling, this installation is done, and then we'll cover. And in the false ceiling, you'll find electrical light fixtures, sprinklers, diffusers, smoke detector, heat detector, alarm, etc. As per the requirement. So now we'll talk about installing the HV system. But again, in installation sequence, the order is important. Simply, as a mechanical engineer, you cannot start work on site for installation. An installation after preparing a important drawing called shop drawing. So before starting this, I'll give you the list of drawings. You can write here. It's not in the notes. In page number 6, some empty space, you can write types of drawing. Types of drawing. And this types of drawing is common for all the services. Now I'm providing the drawing which is common for all the services. But when we talk about architectural, we have list of architectural drawing. When we talk about HVAC, we have list of HVAC drawing. But this 4 drawings is common for any service. Okay, so you can start with point number 1, concept drawing. Concept drawing. Second point, design drawing. Point number 3, shop drawing. And point 4, you can write as built, as-built. As built, as-built drawing. And you know who is consultant? Consultant means design side for you people. Yesterday we learned consultant means who will take care for design, and the installation will take care by the contracting company. We have 2 types of companies. It can be a big company dealing with the design as well as the installation. But in actual practice, in market, you'll find separate consultant and separate contractor and combine also. But generally, so what we learned yesterday, the design part is belongs to consultant, and today for installation means we are talking about contracting company. Okay, so drawing 1 and 2. 1, so point 1 and 2. 1 is what? Concept drawing, and second is design drawing. You take both in flower bracket and write by consultant. And point 3 and 4, prepared by whom? You can write by contractor. 3 and 4 by contractor means shop drawing and as-built drawing by contractor, and design concept drawing and design drawing by consultant. Yes. Hmm. Who said? Let me complete now. After getting the what is as-built drawing, you'll get the idea. So first we'll talk about concept drawing. Okay. So what is concept drawing? And remember, concept drawing you'll not find for all the project. Only for big project. For a small project, concept drawing is not required. It is understood for a small project either window split or ductable. But for big project, say like high-rise building, say 70 floor or say 30 floor, or at least 10 floor. 10 floor also we can consider the high-rise. so so for the big projects, concept drawing is required because a matter of crores. Investment is a big investment. So initially, for big project, initially meeting, in that meeting you will find the client, architect, senior mechanical engineer, and senior electrical engineer. And it may be some legal people like advocate or some people. Initially meeting, in that meeting, based on the client requirement, the architect and the mechanical people suggest the system. As a mechanical, we'll suggest based on the client requirement. For example, is high-rise building, suppose a hotel project. So as a mechanical for high-rise building, we'll suggest air-cooled chiller. But on what basis? After learning chapter 5, you'll get the idea. For example, as a mechanical, I suggest air-cooled chiller. Okay, in the meeting they will accept. And based on that, as a mechanical side, we'll prepare a concept drawing. In that concept drawing, just we'll give the idea. We'll prepare a report. In that report, we'll write for this particular building this system is applicable, and we'll mention the reasons why this system is good for that particular project. And in the drawing also we'll just provide the basic idea about the locations, rough locations. Okay, so concept drawing is only for big project. So for example, as a mechanical, we'll suggest a particular system, and in the drawing we'll give the rough idea. For what? For approval. So based on that concept drawing, again in the next meeting or by the architect, as per the client requirement, they will check if it is okay, they will approve. Or else again meeting. In that meeting will change the system. So like this, finally decision will complete. And in the concept drawing, if they approve the concept drawing, and if after approving or after getting the approval of concept drawing, based on that we can start working on design drawing. So the next is design drawing. So concept drawing is only for the big project, not for all the project. Okay, so it's like at the very initial stage, as per the requirement, because for one project multiple system may be applicable. So in that, which is best, and as per the type of project, as per the clearance, as per the budget, a lot of issues. So as a mechanical, you cannot decide that one. So involvement of interior, architect, client. Why client? Because client is going to invest. For example, if you suggest chill water system, the initial cost is high, but no doubt running cost is less. So if the client is not able to bear that initial cost, we can go for the VRF system. Okay, so we have these options, and after learning chapter 5 you can able to handle this. So I think you got the idea what is concept drawing, right? Next, after getting the approval of concept drawing, in the consultant will start working and prepare what? Design drawing. In the design drawing you'll get the design like equipments, ducting, piping, etc. as per the type of system. We'll discuss in detail. At present, just I'm giving the idea. What is design drawing? This is exactly you don't know. After learning the system, ducting, piping, etc., you can able to read the drawing. In the drafting also you are going to draw this type of drawing. So next is what? Design drawing. Okay. So who will prepare this? Both consultant. After preparing this design drawing, the design drawing will again submit back to the architect or to the concerned person who is taking the responsibility, generally consultant. So consultant will take the design drawing, then think for what? Installation, for site execution. So they will contact to whom? A contracting company. So that will discuss, and they will submit that design drawing to the contracting company, and for that a procedure, they will follow a procedure. The consultant will open the tender to the contracting companies, and the contracting company will take part and submit their quotation before the end date of the tender, and the best will win. and depends based on the rate, based on the company this market goodwill, etc. Suppose out of 10 contracting company, one company win the project, and after getting the project by contracting company, that we can call job in hand. Job in hand means the contracting company got the project. That stage we can call as job in hand. Before that we can call tender state. Tender stage, then job in hand. After getting the project, that is job in hand state, the contracting company will add the details in design drawing which is required for execution on site as per the actual site conditions, as per the this other services, and dealing with the coordination between the structure, architectural and other services. So that drawing we can call as shop drawing. So shop drawing is important. Shop drawing, also known as site execution drawing, or in short we can say detailed drawing, which is required for installation, because in design drawing you will not find the complete information. For example, in design drawing you will find the capacity of the machine, but the exact dimension of the machine can be decided by the contracting company only. Why? Because the contracting company will finalize the make. Initially, as a consultant, as a design engineer, we can suggest Carrier make, Carrier or Blue Star. But exactly what you suggest will not install on site. The contractor, based on that tendering and based on that quotation, they will decide. Suppose they are using Daikin as per the requirement, for example. So for example, what you suggest based on that will draw the size of the machine in the drawing, but exactly will not match with the other model of the same capacity. This is one example. Okay, so this detail will add by whom? By contracting company. Apart from this, the actual levels and the specification, final specification of the metal, etc., all will take care by, all will follow the specification by consultant and follow by the contracting company. But the shop drawing will prepare by whom? By contracting company based on the actual conditions. But it not mean that design is not based on the actual condition. Design also based on the condition, but not accurate. Okay, so in shop drawing you'll find more accuracy and as per the installation requirement, and in shop drawing you'll find more detail so that the workers on site can understand the drawing for fabrication and execution. So in short, shop drawing is what? Detailed drawing which is required for site execution. But what happened on site? Already we discussed yesterday. We have number of services. So after shop drawing, the work will start on site, but definitely there will be some changes because of change in client requirement, because of change in one service or some other issues. So there are some changes on site. Okay, and based on the changes we'll complete the installation. For example, initial the duct routing. For example, this is a open office, for example, area. Initially in the design drawing, the machine location is here, and from this machine location we are running the duct like this, for example. But later, because of some issues, we cannot install the machine somewhere. We cannot install the machine here, and we shifted to this side. And when you change the machine location, the duct routing and the pipe routing will will change. So this updation first based on the site condition, if it is a major issue, in the meeting we'll solve with the MEP coordinator. If it is a small issue, we'll directly rectify on site. But what are the changes on site as per the shop drawing must update in the shop drawing. For what? First reason, for maintenance purpose, and second is for to prepare the final bill. Why? Because for example, initial in shop drawing the machine location is here, and because of this duct routing, the sheet metal used say 500 or 5000 square feet area. But because of change in location, the consumption of sheet metal or the length of the duct or pipe may increase or decrease. Okay, so to prepare the final bill, modification as per the as-built drawing must update in, sorry, as per the shop drawing must update in the shop drawing as per the actual site condition for final bill as well as for maintenance. Why maintenance? Because many equipments or devices is above the fall ceiling or concealed, it's not visible. Okay, so if something in the drawing, but in case of maintenance, the location of the equipment is different. That will create confusion to the maintenance people. So for maintenance and for final bill, what are the changes on site as per shop drawing must update in the shop drawing, and the modified shop drawing as per the site condition, as per the installation, we can call as built drawing. Okay, as built drawing, the modified shop drawing as per the actual installation is called as built drawing. So who is going to prepare this? Again, by the contracting company. Based on the changes on site, the engineer will mark as per the changes, and again he will sit with the draftman, or he will instruct to the draftman, or if he know drafting, he can able to do the changes. So the final drawing as per the actual condition, as per the actual installation, we can call as built drawing, right? So the same you will find in the theory, don't worry. So these are the 4 types of drawing, and this drawing is common for any service, not only for HVAC, not only for electrical, not only for architect. This is common for all the service. In any service, first concept drawing, then design drawing, then shop drawing, then finally as built drawing. Okay, and concept drawing not for all the project, only for big projects. Okay, so the same we'll discuss in this. So after designing, now think that the architect have all the design drawing with him, because yesterday we talked about design and today we finish this steps. So just assume that the architect have all the design drawing with him. So what he will do now? He will contact to the contracting company, as I said just now, tendering, state, job in and etc. So here, general contracting company, one company offering all the services, we can say general contracting company, or a construction company, a big construction company will take care of all this. Or else it can be a separate contractor for civil, separate contractor for mechanical and other services. So these are all contractors or contracting companies. Or it can be a big general contracting company. Whatever the case, the architect will follow and provide all the design drawing to the contracting company when the contracting company win the project. Okay, then the same thing, they will prepare the shop drawing, etc. But before this, we'll talk about the sequence of installation. So in design, yesterday we learned the sequence for design. Similarly, we have a order for installation, and this is not same as design. For installation, the first structure is required. Without structure, can you think for installing any service? And structure includes, for you people, structure includes footings, beams, column, and slab. The structure, and generally, first of all, the structure will complete. You see, this kind of structure will complete first by the civil people. And without structure, you cannot go for any service. But at the time of preparing this structure, first the steel work, at that time only, as a mechanical, you must check pipe sleeves for plumbing, for HVAC pipes, and for firefighting pipes. I'll show you one example for pipe sleeves. This is important. So especially for big project, you must take care this pipe sleeves, because later we cannot disturb the structure member. For example, yes, online image 0208. Yeah. So here you can see pipe sleeve. This is pipe sleeve, and as per the design drawing, initially as a mechanical engineer, when we are dealing with the HVAC, plumbing, and firefighting, your responsibility to mark the requirement of the sleeve in the structure, like in first floor, ground floor, whatever. Okay, and after the marking this sleeve location, at the time of structure work, they will do the centering, the steel work, and they will add all this sleeves, and they will ask you as a mechanical engineer or a mechanical department to visit on site and inspect the location of all the sleeves. Because if you not align, for example, from this sleeve the pipe will run to the next floor. Suppose 10th floor building, and the one pipe is running from ground floor to the top floor. So this sleeve must align with each other, na? In one floor and second floor and next floor, it should be with the same alignment. In one floor it is at one location, other floor it is moved to 2 feet or 3 feet, means it is very difficult. Okay, so they will ask you to visit on site and verify the location of all the sleeves in construction. So at the time of structural, partly plumbing work also complete, especially this sleeve locations. Okay, next, after this plumbing, then electrical. Why electrical first? Because here this image will help you. And don't think that complete electrical is done, then only HVAC. Coordination with the coordination, but the electrical will have the priority to start the work, because building supply is required to deal with the other works also. And apart from this, in this image will you'll get the idea. This cable trays are running above this box, and this box is sheet metal box called duct, for it belongs to HVAC. And so this cable trays are running above the duct. Why? As per standard. In some cases, this may run below the duct also because of coordination issues or because of some delay in project, etc. But we are talking about standard. And you just visiting on site and observing on site, we cannot say that is only standard. Many times because of coordination issues, because of some delay, you'll find change in standard also. But at this level, we are following or we are learning the standard because we are learning at this level. So as per standard, the cable trace is going to run above the duct or just below the slab. Why? Two reasons. You see, first structure, then partly plumbing, then electrical. Why electrical is above this duct? The first reason is if you run this cable tray below this duct, in future, if you want to do any maintenance to the work, it is difficult to access the duct. First reason. Second reason is, if you run this cable tray below this duct, inside the duct we are supplying cool air, moist air. No doubt with insulation, but after some time because of some maintenance work to other service, the insulation may damage, and where damage of insulation, in that area chances of condensation, the droplet of water normally in winter season. So that water may drop on the cables, and if any joints, that may cause short circuit. So for that reason, generally cable trays are above the duct. Okay, next, after this, as a mechanical, you can able to start your work, but before that you can go for fabrication of duct and other work, planning, etc. It's not like that. First the electrical will completely done, then we'll start. Suppose they complete 25% or 20%, you can start from that area. Okay, but after completing the this cable tray, then you can able to install this duct. But it's not completely one after other, parallelly with some delay. The project will start by the mechanical people because it is difficult. For example, one service is completely done, then other service means it will take longer time, and it is difficult also. Why? Because you see, after completing all the services, then false ceiling, and after false ceiling only the electrical people can add the light fixture. Then the diffuser you can attach the diffuser as a mechanical, then firefighting people, the sprinkler, etc. So final work after false ceiling. So it is in sequence, it is in order. Okay, so after this mechanical, then firefighting. Yesterday we learned the firefighting have the first priority in design, but in installation it is last. This is standard, but normally in India, in local projects, you'll find the firefighting pipe above the duct also, because firefighting work is very easy compared to, or installation is limited compared to HVAC. So they will visit on site and they will complete the job. So if the duct is not done, they will install the pipe above the duct also. But anyhow, the branches should be up to the false ceiling. But as per standard, this firefighting pipe should be below the duct. Again, two reasons. First, after installing this service, the municipal will visit on site and they will test this service after before giving the approval. Okay, and this electrical service will use on daily basis. This HVAC also use almost throughout the year. This plumbing also will use on daily basis, but firefighting will use only in case of fire event. Till that time, proper maintenance is required. And for easy maintenance, if this pipe is available just above the false ceiling, that will be easy to access. Okay, so for that reason also, it is recommended to go run this firefighting pipe below the duct or just above the false ceiling. It is recommended, but you will not find all the time because of coordination, because of delay in project, etc. And definitely we are maintaining some gap between the services, especially this firefighting pipe in duct, because cool air, so the chances of freezing the water in Western countries, not in but anyhow, continuously chilled air, and if the pipe is touched to this, the chances of freezing. But anyhow, we are using insulation, but still it is not recommended, or it is required, but is highly recommended to maintain at least one inch gap between the services. Okay, and right side you can see the plumbing pipe, drainage pipe. Similarly, you'll find the water pipe also. Okay, and other services like interior, means false ceiling, furniture, security system, etc. In this way you can handle the work on site in this sequence. Okay, so this is a sequence, but we are bothered about what HVAC, because we are learning HVAC. So in this theory you'll get the idea about HVAC installation. The first step, what we discussed, the mechanical or the HVAC contracting company. Already we discussed the installation will take care by whom? The contracting company, and you can highlight this. The contracting company takes the HVAC consultant design drawing. Design drawing also known as engineering or contract drawing, because when the contracting company got, when they win the contract, the drawing they are considering as a contract drawing. But in actual practice we are calling design drawing. And then prepares what? Shop drawing. Okay, this is the first step. First they will prepare the shop drawing. Then after preparing the shop drawing, the next step, you see what is shop drawing? Shop drawing are detailed drawing, larger scale, minimum A2, A1 or A0 is required. I think you know these sheet sizes. Anyone don't know these sheet sizes? Any confusion in the sheet sizes? If you don't know, I'll explain. Okay, so when you are in engineering, I think you purchase the sheet from the market for drawing, manual drawing. That sheet is A1, and when you cut half sheet, we used to call half sheet is A2, and A0 is bigger than that. Just to get the idea. And for this print, we cannot print this in normal printer. We used to call plotter. You know this plotter, a big machine for printing. That is a plotter, not the printer. So A2 is A1 or A0. A4, you know, paper size, normal paper size. A4, A3 is not at all accepted for shop drawing because it's very small. You cannot read this, and you'll not get the approval on even on A3 also they will not accept. Minimum A2, A1 or the big sheet A0. And we have other standard, other non-standard size also as per the plotter model. But standard is A2, A1 and A0. And most commonly remember 1:100 scale. This is very, very important. You must highlight this. 1:100 scale. What is exactly we'll discuss. You'll find in drafting about this scaling, but I'll give you the idea. 1:100 scale means in actual it is 100, but in the drawing it is only 1. After print, at the time of drawing in CAD, we are drawing with 1:1 scale only. Suppose 100 meter means we'll draw 100 meters in CAD, because in CAD the screen is unlimited in all the sites. But for print some limitation, we don't have big sheets like this room. Suppose if I want to take the this office print, we don't have this much of big sheet size. So at the time of print, we are going to reduce the size. So 1:100 means in actual it is 100, but in the drawing it is 1. So if you measure 1 mm in the drawing, it is 100. So we'll multiply with the scale, that is 100. It can be 1:150, it can be 1:200 for very big project, etc. But most commonly on site you'll find 1:100 most commonly, but it's not all the time. Depend, 1:50 also you'll find, 1:200 also you'll find. But worker can understand this scale very easily, and generally they are following. So we'll try to print with 1:100 scale. But about the scale in detail you will find in drafting class. Okay, at the time of drafting, not even in CAD. After CAD you'll find the drafting. In the drafting you'll find this scale concept. Next, of the HVAC system which will be necessary for the workers. So step 1 is preparing shop drawing. Step 2 is what? The HVAC contracting company has their people, which includes what? First, sheet metal contractor. Nothing but you'll find 3 types of subcontractor. I can say these are all subcontractors. Suppose I am running a contracting company and I got the project from the consultant. So what I'll do, we have 2 options. Either I can hire the worker on permanent basis, means based on salary, whether work is there or not, I need to pay the salary. Generally big companies can afford that one. So big contracting company hires the worker on salary basis. Whether project is there or not, they can pay, but not all the contracting companies. So the small and medium contracting companies will not hire the workers on salary basis. Whenever they get the project, they will hire the subcontract from the market. In the market you will find subcontract, a person with a team of skilled workers who can able to handle this duct fabrication, like this duct fabrication, duct installation. So this is one type of contractor, subcontractor, sheet metal contractor, and they are dealing with the all about the ducting side, air side. Hmm. The second type of contractor is pipe fitters, nothing but machine subcontractor. They are involved in machine installation, pipe welding, pipe installation, pipe insulation, etc. Not insulation, pipe installation, etc. And for ducting and piping, we require insulation, not to lose the energy. What is insulation? We have a topic at this level. Just we are talking about in general, just order. So for that, we will find a separate contractor, insulation contractor, take care for insulation on duct as well as on pipe. So mostly you'll find three types of subcontractor market. So when I get the project as a contracting company, I'll hire the subcontractor people as per the project requirement. Some subcontractor provide a good quality, some will provide a normal quality. So as per the project requirement, I'll hire, and the rate is fixed as per the market. So I'll provide the work to them. I'll provide this detailed drawing, and even the material on site is my responsibility. It means the contracting company responsibility. So the next step is, after hiring this subcontractors or the company own workers, whatever the case, the next step is material. We require material on site. Without material, you cannot think for installation. For ducting, we require sheet metal. For piping, we require pipes on site. Fitting, accessories, equipments, lot of things. We'll discuss when we start the project about the system. You'll get the idea about the material. So the HVAC contracting company also purchase all necessary HVAC machines and materials. Comma is missing. Add comma here. Here, comma. To do this, here one more comma. The engineer, not full stop, comma. To do this, the engineers means you are, if you're working as a estimator in a contracting company, estimation engineer. So to do this, their engineers means the contracting company engineers first carry out a takeoff. Suppose if I provide the drawing to you, suppose if I provide the drawing, suppose this is a drawing to you as an engineer and you're working in my company, contracting company as estimator, and if I ask you to go for metal takeoff, means I'm asking to find out the metal requirement from this project and make a list with specification. That in short being called takeoff or metal takeoff. Nothing but estimation of what? Material, not cost. So takeoff, that is they list all the machines and metal as shown in the drawing with specification. This is important. For example, why specification is important? Because as a contracting company, in the specification by the client, client means consultant follow the client requirement. Suppose the consultant is asking for a hospital project in one area, aluminum ducting. This is the specification requirement. But you are purchasing the metal, that is GI, for example, and you are completing the work with the GI. At the time of QC, by your own contracting company, first the QC by your own contracting company, then from the consultant, it can be a third party verification also. Depends. They will reject, because if you not follow the specification, what you promise to the client, what the client is looking for specification, if you not follow, the project or the installation will reject. So this is very, very important, specification. So you'll find the specification from the consultant. They will give you the specification, what to follow, what are the requirement, what are the standards. And for big project, the client have their own specification. For example, Aramco is a client, or Reliance in India is a client. They will provide the project to the Blue Star or Carrier people. So they have their own specification, and the specification followed by the air conditioning companies. So you must follow the specification, and based on the specification only you must purchase the material and send on site. This is very, very important. So you must highlight this. Specification of the metal is very, very important, or else the whole area installation will reject by the consultant, whatever the loss. Okay, so be careful. Even sometimes small things with the small parameters they will reject, and this happened in one project. Actually, before insulation, they asked in the specification, they have written black paint on the duct before insulation. But by mistake, the contracting company use red oxide on the duct. Actually, we don't require red oxide or black paint on the duct, because we are using GI sheet, so it is already galvanized coating. But it's a consultant requirement. But at the time of QC, at the time of quality check, they remove some insulation and they check. So it was red oxide, and they reject the complete ducting. So insulation, loss of insulation, loss of ducting, loss of material, lot of fabrication cost. It's a matter of lakhs or crores. Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so be careful with the specification. So you must follow the specification if you are working as a estimator site, and even as a site engineer. When you're installing, you must follow the specification, you must follow the drawing, etc. Because on site for installation you are responsible if you're working as a site engineer or project engineer. Okay. Next, this can be a very involving task. Estimation is not easy. It is an involving task. Means if you want to do the estimation, you must know the system, you must know how to read the drawing, you must aware of the specification, you must know the client requirement, standard, etc. Then only can extract the information as per the requirement. That's the reason estimation you will find at the last in this course. Because why last? Because before estimation will teach you the systems, will teach you how to read the drawing in drafting, and about this calculation, etc., so that you can able to deal with the estimation easily. Okay, estimation is not lengthy, but estimation require all this knowledge. Okay, so at the end you'll find the estimation module in this course. Next, when installation. So now think that drawing is ready, shop drawing is ready, then contractors, subcontractors on site, metal also we send, for example. Now think that installation is done. How to deal with the installation? We have a separate topic at the time of ducting, piping, etc. This is just an overview. So think that installation is done. So when the installation is complete, the HVAC contracting company test, adjust and balance the next task. In short, we can call tab work. This also take care by the contracting company. Okay, so generally we used to call balancing, but now the new term in market, tab. Now means from last 5 years the people are dealing with the tab, but still many seniors on site they were used to call balancing. So balancing or tab work both are same. The HV system and call for QA and QC department. QA is quality assurance and QC is quality check, and this QA and QC department from your own contracting company first. Because as a contracting company, when you are taking the project, your company responsibility to verify the work on site. So your contracting company QC team will visit on site after installation and they will submit the report. If any modification, anything, they will write the remarks and you need to complete that one. And final check, suppose it is accepted. Then for big project, the consultant will send a third party verification also on site. It can be from other company or some people. They will visit on site and they will cross check and they will give the approval for big project, not for all the project. So first preparation of drawing, then subcontractors, then material, then installation, then QC, tab work, then QC, then after that maintenance. Okay, so here after completion of tab work and quality check, as built drawing can be prepared. As built after installation only, no? So the modified shop drawing as per site condition or as per actual condition is as built drawing. For what? For final bill and for maintenance purpose. So this is a sequence of installation in HVAC, and the same concept you can follow for other services also. Not only for HVAC, in other services, like if you're dealing with electrical, first preparation of shop drawing, then the subcontractors, but you'll not find a number of contractors for electrical. Then again metal takeoff, etc. So the same sequence you can also follow for other services, because if you talk about any service, the order is same. Okay, so I think you got the idea about the design and installation. Just to set your mind, just to understand what we are going to learn.